All right, so here's your seated workout. We'll begin with some hamstring stretching. So you can extend your right leg out with a flexed foot, sitting really tall on the edge of your seat, and then slowly hinging forward with as flat of a back as you can create. So from the side, my back is flat and I'm hinging and leaning over. And then coming back up and trying that on the left leg, hinging forward. Really flexing at the ankle and lifting back up. And then same thing with a pointed foot. Point, try to get the whole sole of the foot toward the ground. And again, a long flat back hinge. And lifting back up, and same thing with the left. And lifting back up one more time. So right leg extends, flexed foot, hinging forward. Hands are just somewhere comfortable. Long back of the neck. And back up, and then same thing on the other side. Flex, bend at the ankle, leaning forward. And back up, and then pointed feet. Long front of the foot, hinging forward. Sometimes I'll track down my leg. And back up, and then same thing on the left. And back up. So then you're going to straddle, kind of a mild straddle, and then same thing, extend the right leg, flex the foot, but you're going to lean straight through the center, the long flat back hinge, versus leaning to the leg, you go through the middle, and back up, and then switch. Same thing, sitting tall, leaning forward in the middle, flexing that left foot, really bending at the ankle, and back up. And then same thing with pointed feet. Press the toes toward the floor. Lean from your pelvis to take you forward. And back up, and then gently exchange. Sitting tall, and again, lean from the pelvis to take you forward. And back up. Repeat that sequence one more time. So flex, tall spine, hinge at the pelvis to lean you forward. You'll feel a little bit of that inner thigh stretch. And back up, and one more time on the other side. Sitting tall, wide inner thighs, leaning forward. And back up, and then same thing with pointed feet. Long back of the spine, hinging forward. And back up, and then one more time on the other side. Tall spine, wide legs, and then leaning forward. And then lifting back up, and then coming through center and rest. So I have a lot of props for today, one of them being a band, like a TheraBand. Something of a medium tension. So we're going to do some foot ankle exercises. So placing the band around the ball of your foot, pulling back just enough to get a little bit of tension on the band, not excessive. But from here with that flexed foot, just like you did at the beginning of this sequence, you're going to point through the ankle and push the ball of the foot forward, and then you're going to flex at the ankle to pull the ball of the foot back. So you point and then flex. So what I'm not doing is I'm not going to curve my toes over, because if I do that, I will probably lose the band. So I'm going to let my toes stay pulled back like a demi-pointed toe or foot, and then flexing back. So I'm trying to just isolate my ankle to go back and forth. I'm still sitting relatively tall, and I'm trying to just isolate the right ankle. 4 more. 4. And again for 3. Tall rest of the spine. 2. You'll notice my arms are pretty locked into position. And 1. And then you're going to switch feet. So same thing, the band is around the ball of the foot and the toes. You're going to sit really tall on the edge of your seat. Pull a little bit with the band just to get a little bit of taut tension. And then again, point through the ankle, pushing the ball of the foot away. And then gently flex. And same thing, point, and a little flex. And again. So same idea that you don't want to point with your toes or else you might lose the band. You're going to let the toes stay pulled back. We call that demi-point, and flex so that you're just isolating at the ankle. And back. Let's try 4 more for 4. And again for 3. And again for 2. And 1 more for 1. So letting that go, you can let the band go. You can shake your feet and ankles out. So walk your feet kind of forward, and you're going to make 2 fists with your hands and slip them between your knees. Causes you to have to lean forward a little bit. And then from here, keeping that spacer with your hands, you're going to crunch your toes in like fists. Hold, 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 and then gently release. So this is like the opposite of what we just did. And again, curl, curl, curl. You're going to notice that the pinky side of my foot is just as high as the big toe side of the foot, and letting that go. And again, crunch, hold, and stay, and release. And again, crunch, hold, and stay, and release. And then one more time, crunch, hold, and stay, and then do little toe taps, trying to isolate the motion mostly at the ankle. The knees can move a little bit, but the rest of your body is quite steady, very still. And tap, 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 tap for 4, 3, 2, and then take a little toe and foot break. If you cramp out during any of this, just let it go, shake out your feet, and then try it again. So we'll do the same thing again, crunch and hold and stay, and then again, tap, 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 tap. You'll start to feel the shins burning, which is sort of what you want. You want to strengthen some of these guys in the fronts of the shins for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then letting that go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And you're going to try that one more time, crunching the toes in and tap. So meanwhile, the pinky toes are pointing straight ahead. The top of the foot is running parallel to the floor or parallel to the ceiling. And you're just bending at the ankles for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then, letting that go. So to stretch these shins, we're going to do a top of the foot stretch. So I'm going to move my props a little bit. You can sit a little bit perched on the front edge of your seat, and you're going to flip the right top of the foot under you, kind of behind your seat, and just sit and hold and stay and push your foot forward as if you're pushing your ankle to the floor, just stretching out the top of the foot, and then hold and breathe. And then gently back off, and we'll try the same thing on the other side. So slipping the top of the foot underneath your seat, so the toes are pointed, and I'm just pushing the top of my foot to the ground, kind of stretching out the quad maybe a little bit as well, and just hold and breathe. Good, and then gently release. So I have, again, like I said, a number of props here, so you have options. You don't have to use what I'm using, but it's nice to have choices. So you could use a ball or a block for our next exercise. Even a book or a pillow folded would work for this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your prop and you're going to slip it between your knees. I'm going to use my ball. And we're going to do some inner thigh squeezes. So sitting really tall. And again, on your exhale, you're just going to lightly squeeze the ball with the tops of the inner thighs. And then gently back off. Pretty simple. So you exhale. You feel a little pelvic floor, low abdominal engagement as you squeeze the ball. And then gently back off. And again, you breathe. And then you squeeze. And gently back off. So you're going to think of squeezing incrementally. So you're going to think of squeezing the ball 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%, and then gently back off. And then same thing again. Exhale, squeeze the ball 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%, and back off. And one more time. Exhale, squeeze for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. And then gently back off. Good. So remove this prop. So now you have options for the next one. If you have your TheraBand, what you could do is you can tie a knot into it and make a loop. And you're going to slip it around the outsides of your knees. I have a band that's already a loop, so this is also a nice one to have. I also have a traditional Pilates ring. So I'm going to use the ring. But anything that goes around the outsides of your knees will work. And if you don't have any props, you just use your hands. So same idea, it's just that now we're going to go outward for some outer hip activation. So hands can be anywhere comfortable, and you're just going to exhale and gently push out into the ring. Hold, 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 and then gently back off. And then same thing again. Exhale as you press away. You might still feel some low abdominal activation. It's just a little different. And then back off. And same thing again. Exhale. And back off. So much like you did before, we're going to incrementally push out. So you're going to press out 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. Really feeling it high in the tops of the hips. And then gently back off. And then same thing again, pressing out 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Hold, hold, hold. And back off. And then one more time, exhale, pressing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Feeling that low abdominal support, wide outer hips. And then gently backing off. And then take your prop away. Feels pretty good in the legs and the hips. So let's add a little spinal motion. So from here, to get a little bit of a soft sternum, you're going to give yourself a hug. So you can just grab for whatever tissue you can grab onto. And when you give yourself a hug, let the sternum and your elbows tilt down. Your gaze can even look down a little bit, but your pelvis is upright. So my back, my pelvis is vertical, but my sternum and my ribs are a little bit slouched on purpose. So maintaining that baby slouch, you're going to gently twist around to the right, only as far as you can go, keeping your sternum relaxed and keeping your pelvis steady, and then rotate back through center, again, keeping your sternum and ribs relaxed. And then same thing, twist over to the left, keeping your baby slouch, your pelvis is really steady, and then unwinding back to center. And again, exhale, twisting to the right. Watch that your head doesn't go faster than your elbows. My chin is just about in line with my elbows. And then rotating back. And then same thing on the left. Twist, 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 twist. And rotating back. One more on each. Twist, 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 twist. And rotating back around. Soft sternum, you're still lightly slouched. And twist, 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 twist to the left. And then unwinding back to center, and then gently coming out of that. And I usually want to stir my shoulders around for a little bit of that as well. So you're going to switch which arm is on top, still giving yourself that hug. I can touch my scapula, so it reminds me to keep my scapula wide. But same thing, a baby slouch, softening your sternum and chest, tipping your head toward the floor. So now I'm going to picture like there's a dial in my chest. I'm going to tip the dial over to the right, which causes my right shoulder to dip down and my left shoulder to dip up. And just hold and breathe, stretching into the opposite side of the rib cage and waist. And then I'm going to unwind the dial and come back to center, but I still have that baby slouch. And then same thing to the other side, tilting over, 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 turning the dial to the left, breathing into the opposite rib cage. And then exhale, unwind the dial to come back up. And then same thing, turn the dial, turn the dial, turn the dial to the right, breathing into the left side of the rib cage and back. So you're still slightly slouched. And then gently coming back to upright. Same thing to the other side, tilting over. Breathing through the opposite lung. And unwinding the dial to come back. One more time. So soft sternum, side bend, turn the dial, turn the dial, turn the dial. And then unwinding the dial back to center. One more time. Still soft sternum, side bend over to the left, turn the dial, turn the dial, turn the dial. Breathe into any tight spots you might have. And then exhale to come back to center. Come out of it, and then same thing, maybe stir the shoulders a little bit to let some of that go. So let's do that same sequence, but without the hug, but you still want a little bit of that soft sternum sensation. So you're a little bit soft, and we're going to add some regular twisting, but we're going to keep your arms resting on your thighs. So on your exhale, twist to the right, looking over your shoulder as if you're backing up in a car, and then unwind back to center. And then same thing to the left. Twist, twist, twist. Keep the sternum soft. You might be able to go a little bit further. And unwinding back. So you picture like a barber shop pole. You twist to the right. You feel that barber shop pole spiraling you up, 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 up. And then unwinding back. And then same thing to the left. Twist, twist, twist. You feel more from the back of your body, lengthening up to the ceiling. And unwinding back. And then one more to each side. Twist, 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 twist. And unwinding back. One more to the other side. Twist, 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 twist. And unwinding back. Good. So then arms come down. So same thing with that side bend. You're going to think of that dial in your chest. You're going to side bend and turn the dial, reaching those right fingertips down toward the floor. You can let your head and your neck hang over. You might even get a little neck stretch. And then push into your feet to help lengthen your spine to come back up. Still keeping a little bit of that soft sternum. And again, reach the left fingertips down. You can think of turning that dial in your chest, letting your head hang over, getting a little bit of a neck stretch. Breathing again into the opposite ribs. And then push into your feet to come back up. So we're going to add on. So your left hand, my left hand, is going to come behind my head. My right arm is reaching to the floor. I'm going to reach that right fingertips down toward the floor as my left elbow is being pulled up to the ceiling, up to the ceiling, up to the ceiling, as if there's a hook pulling my elbow up to the roof. So I'm focusing more on going up versus down. And then come back to upright, and we'll do the same side again. So you still picture the dial. I picture a hook lifting that left elbow up, 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 up. Stretching this whole armpit rib cage and lifting back up. And one more time. Tipping over, reaching that top elbow up, 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 up. And then lifting back up, and then gently alternate sides. So my right hand's coming behind my head. My left fingertips are reaching down. I still picture that hook. As I reach my left fingertips down, I'm pulling my right elbow up, 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 up to the roof, up to the ceiling. So I'm focusing on going up, not down. And then back to upright. And again, side bending over, elbow reaches up, 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 up. As the fingertips go down, 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 down. Oh, and back up. One more time. Fingertips reach down, elbow reaches up, 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 up. Ooh. And back up to rest. So from here, let's take your right leg and cross your ankle over your knee. Sit up really tall. Make sure that your glutes are both level on your seat. Grab onto your shin, twist your shin toward you a little bit, and then again with a flat back, gently hinge on forward. And breathe. Gently back off, uncross the right leg, and then let's cross the left over. Same idea, sitting up nice and tall, tall lifted spine, twisting the shin and the calf towards you, level glutes on your seat, and then hinging with as flat of a back as you can create, coming on forward. And then coming on up, gently uncross the legs, and let's move up to the shoulders. So let's just do a gentle shoulder roll of shrugging the shoulders up, back, and down. And again, so they slightly curl forward. They go up to your ears, try to touch your earlobes, and then back and down. And again, forward, up, back, and down. And one more time, forward, up, back, and down. So let's take your band. If you tied it into a knot, let's untie it. And let's do a little external rotation of your arms. So again, a light band would be preferable. Usually the yellows might be a light band, but you're going to grab the band, palms face up. Your elbows are pinned against your sides, and you're going to gently pull the band apart. I don't expect you to go very far, especially if it's a really heavy band, and then back off. But the key ingredient is to keep your elbows pinned against your ribs as you twist the forearms, the thumbs, like two hitchhiker thumbs pulling apart, and gently back off. So you get some rear deltoid. And again, I'm going to grab even a little bit looser, and again, exhale, pulling the hands apart, and then back off, and the rope can, or the strap can be a little bit slack to begin, so you get more range of motion. And again, pulling out, 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 and gently back off. 4 more, exhale. The rest of the body is nice and steady, and back off. And again for 3, and back off. And again for 2, and back off. And one last one for 1. And back off. Woo! That's intense in the shoulders. So we're going to take your band. Let's have you extend your legs out in front of you. They can be a little bit bent. I sometimes call this like a go-kart position. But you're going to crisscross the band. So it's like an X. Again, something medium will be best for this so that you're not too heavy. But it's a row. So you're going to bend your elbows, sliding your elbows straight back as if you're slightly pinching your shoulder blades together, and then gently back off. So again, I'm going to bend my elbows, slide my elbows back as if they're sliding onto countertops, and then gently back off. And again, bending back, 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 back. So my feet are flexed, so it holds the band in place, and gently back off. So I'm deliberately, as my elbows are sliding back, I'm allowing the shoulder blades to slightly come together from behind, adduct, and then gently back off. And again, 4 more. Pull, 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 slightly pulling the shoulder blades down and together, and back off. And again for 3, and back off. And exhale for 2, and back off. And 1 more for 1. And back off. So then you're going to uncross. So similar leg position, you're not going to change, but now with straight arms, you're going to press the arms straight back for chest expansion. I don't expect the arms to go very far, and then bringing it back forward. And then same thing, press the arms straight back with strong, straight elbows, and then gently back off. So when you're here, let's do a test. Twist your palms to face up so your inner elbows point up to the ceiling. And then keep your inner elbows pointed up to the ceiling, but turn your palms face in. Not down, but in. Now maintain this arm position as you press the arms straight back with really strong, straight elbows. And back off. If it's sometimes hard to hold the band, you can create knots at the ends, so that gives you something a little harder to hold onto, which is sometimes helpful. Sometimes they sell a band with a handle on it. That would be good too. So pulling back, one last one. Strong, straight elbows. Notice how your legs have to work a little bit, your feet do. And let's do one arm at a time. So the right arm's going to pull back all by itself. Body stays really steady, and then gently back off. And then same thing on the left. Exhale. And gently back off. And again, exhale. Pulling back, 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 back. and gently back off. And same thing on the other side. Exhale, pulling back, 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 back. And back off. One more on each. Exhale. Strong, straight elbow. Notice if the inner elbow is starting to roll in, or is it pointing straight ahead at the TV or the camera and pulling straight back and back forward. So let's add a twist. So the right arm is going to pull back and stay, and then you're going to gently turn your body to the right. The arm will come a little bit further as well, and then you're going to unwind everything back to square. Same thing on the left. Left arm pulls back first, and then twist, 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 turning your body to the left, and then gently unwind. And again, pull that right arm back. Make sure that the arm is pointing in the right direction, then turn, turn, turn. Again, like that barber shop pull to the right, and then unwinding back to center. And then same thing on the left. Pull, 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 and then turn, 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 turn the body. And then unwinding back. Let's try one more on each side. So right arm pulls back first. Turn the body, turn the body, turn the body. And gently unwind. That's good. And one more on the left. Pull it back. And then twist, 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 twist. And then unwind back. Woo! And then gently let go of your band. So you have your seat. So let's come to standing and turn and pivot your seat for a little double calf stretch. So if you have a mat, what you can do is you can roll it up into a long tube, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to start at one end, and I'm just going to roll it up as tightly as I can. If you don't have a yoga mat, that's okay too. You can take a towel or a blanket and make a really similar, tube. This actually might be a little too big. It'd be probably better if it was a little smaller. But I'm going to take my roll, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my seat a little bit behind it. I'm going to walk my feet wide, so the balls of my feet are on the edges of my rolled up mat. My hands are on my seat. Chances are your seat's a little higher. And I have my bottom leaned a little bit behind my heels. So this is your double calf stretch. So you're going to hang out here and breathe for a moment, letting the hamstrings relax. You can even allow your pinky toes to hang off the edges of your roll. You could also do this with flat feet. You don't even need a roll. You could do this just flat on the ground. You just want your feet at a relatively wide stance. So from here, you are going to bend, micro bend both of your knees and hold. And you're going to lightly push your knees apart using your outer hips. And then maintain some of that hip work as you gradually go to stretch the legs straight. Hold, hold, hold. And then try that again. Bend your knees a little bit. Lightly push your knees a tiny bit apart as you gradually stretch your legs on straight. And then try that one more time. Little knee bend. Again, keep the knees lightly pressed apart as if they're ankling over the pinky toes, and then gradually stretch the legs straight. And then hold and stay with straight legs. Keep your chest in the center of your two arms, and slowly swipe or lean your pelvis over to the right. Keep both knees straight, and kind of reach that right cheek back to the wall behind you and stay. Pass your pelvis through center, and then swipe your pelvis across to the left, sitting into your left hip. Again, your chest is trying to stay square between your two hands, and breathe. And then pass back through center. And again, swipe across over to the right. Breathe, 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 sitting into that right hip. Again, think of your hips being a little bit behind your heels and stay. And then pass through center. And then swipe your pelvis a little bit to the left. Keep the knees strong and straight. And then pass back through center. One more on each side. Swipe across to the right. Sitting into your right hip. Keeping your chest square between your two arms. And pass the hips back through center. One more to the left, swipe across, breathe, breathe, breathe. And then bring the pelvis back through center, and then you can gently come on up. So I'm going to move my mat. You may want to move close to a wall for some standing balance. So the hip lifting. So starting with your stance, let's review some of the points of the stance that you want to touch your hip bones or your ASIS. And if you were to drop a line, as if this were my line, if I were to drop a line straight down from my ASIS, the center of my ankle, that little indentation, would drop straight down below my ASIS. So that's how wide my feet would be apart. The pinky toes will point straight ahead. The weight's back on the heels. The toes are light and wiggleable. And the chest is relaxed, that soft sternum. So from here, if you need a ball for balance or a chair, like a high back chair, bring it nearby. And you're going to transfer your weight a little bit to the right. You're going to drive your right heel down, 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 down so hard that you float your left foot off the floor. And stay and breathe. With a relaxed sternum, a relaxed upper body, but really feeling that right outer glute kicked on, and your hips are just a little askew on purpose. And then square off the feet. Reorganize your stance. Again, ASIS, hip bone distance apart, pinky toes point straight ahead, weight transfer to the left, drive that left heel down, 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 down to float the right foot off. Did I say left? Left heel down, right foot off. Balance and breathe. Again, soft sternum. If you need to hold on to something, you can. But again, really getting the left glute to turn on. And again, my hips are just a little askew on purpose. But my head is pointing straight up to the ceiling. And then back off. Again, reorganize your stance and try that again. A little weight shift. Drive your right heel down, 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 down to float the left foot off. Balance and stay. Building some endurance. So again, head's pointing straight up as if you were balancing a book on your head. And then squaring off the feet. Again, reorganize your stance if you need to. And then again, a little weight transfer to the left. Drive left heel down, 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 down to float the right foot off. Balance and stay. Good. Level off the feet. One more time on each side. A little weight transfer. Drive that right heel down, 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 down to float the left foot off. Balance and stay. And gently square it off. And one more to the other side. A little weight transfer over. Driving that left foot down, 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 down. Floating the right foot off. Balance and stay. Good. And then level off the feet. Let it all go. And then just take a little walk around. And as you walk, you should have, relatively swingy arms. You should have swingy legs. And hopefully you feel a little bit more integrated. Thanks so much. Take care.